Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So, I've done grocery hauls and I've done different times where I've bought like tons of meat or tons of something. Like in one grocery haul, I bought 6 months worth of cereal. And I feel like a lot of people might not really understand how I grocery shop. So I'm going to kind of try and explain it. I may even really try and edit this video and maybe like put little written tips over here or over here. We'll see which way I tend to shift and lean. Um, but let's start this way. When I grocery shop, I do not shop for the week per se. I look at my kitchen, my food as an inventory. And it's something that is just it's a consumable resource that it's going to constantly be used. I know that I am going to eat tomorrow, and I'm going to eat in a month, and I'm going to eat the month after that. I'm not going to just stop eating. I know that there's certain foods that I am going to always eat. Sorry, I might not necessarily want them that week, or I might go through stages where I eat more at this time or more at that time. Like a few months back, I swear to God, I had an omelet like every day for dinner for probably a good 6 to 8 weeks. Every day. Every day except for like maybe one or two. A ham, cheese, onion, and red pepper omelet. 2 eggs made in a wok. So it's like really thin. It gives like a really neat texture. Um, so I know I'm going to need ham for that omelet. I know I'm going to need cheese for that omelet. I know I'm going to need onions and peppers. But the thing is what if I stop eating omelets? Well, I'm still going to use onions and peppers for stuff. Not ham as much. I mean, I can, but not as much. I'm still going to use cheese. I use cheese for all sorts of things. Cheese for tacos, cheese for pizza, cheese for, whatever. So I'm going to keep using these things. I'm just going to use the ingredients differently for different things. So when something's on sale, that's when I buy it. So now that summer's coming, I'm curious to see if the trend from the last year or two keeps up. And what that trend is every 2 to 4 weeks, at least one store has has boneless, skinless chicken breast for 99 cents a pound. And so I'm able to get, I'll normally get like 10, 15 pounds. And then I use it for the next several weeks. I know Jewel, every year around April, May, sometime in that area, have the 99-cent pub burgers, which are 8 ounces of 85/15 ground beef. So essentially for $1.98 a pound, I'm getting 85/15 ground beef. So I stock up and get about 6 to 12 months worth of beef. Now, there are some things I do buy throughout the week. Every week or two, I buy my milk, my almond milk, my eggs, bread, stuff like that. Produce obviously is a weekly thing because those things I don't care how cheap grapes are. I can't buy 6 months worth of grapes unless I'm going to put them in the freezer, and then it's just different. It's not like meat. And I mean, not that you can't freeze it. I just, I choose not to do that because I like to actually eat like fresh fruit. So that gets bought. But uh, pasta sauce, I have like 10 jars or so of pasta sauce because it was on sale for $1 a jar. Same with the pasta because it was $1 a box. I mean, honestly, though, I can get it for $1.09 a box, so not that great of a deal, but I mean, still 9 cents is 9 cents. Um, so I don't just like meal plan and think, what am I going to make this week? And then go and buy everything at the grocery store. When I meal plan, I think about what I already have. And when I'm grocery shopping, like I know there's certain things I will need. I know I will go through bread every week. Maybe not a full loaf. I mean, it really depends on how much my kid and I are both eating, I guess. But I know we're going to go through bread, so I know if the bread is at a certain level, I need to get more bread. But things we eat a lot of, like I know we have cereal. I have cereal every morning, the same cereal. My kid goes through phases. He might have cereal every day for a week, and then I'd eat cereal for 2 weeks, and then, have cereal every other day. But I know he's going to keep eating cereal. Different cereals than me. He does not like Raisin Bran. He does not like Bran Flakes or raisins, so obviously Raisin Bran, not his cereal. Um, but I don't like, people see, I remember when I posted I think it was January's grocery haul where I had all the Raisin Bran, people like, why don't you feed your kids something and then all that processed crap? I do, but that's not how I shop. Because the thing is that the way I shop saves money on the grocery bill overall. So if I know I'm going to go through a box of Raisin Bran a week, let's say, because I think there's like 7 servings in it. And I mean, I only eat like 3/4 the serving, but for argument's sake, we'll just say a box a week. Now I can buy that box every week. And it could be, I get them for like $2-ish a box on sale. But I think they're normally like $4 a box. So I can spend $40 and get 20 boxes of cereal when it's on sale, or I can spend $4 a week for 20 weeks, and that's $80. So over the course of the 20 weeks, I saved $40 by doing that. And then same with the chicken. I know I'm going to eat, I know we probably go through about 2 pounds of chicken a week. So it's $2.50-ish regular price if I buy the big pack, which would still be like 2 weeks worth of chicken. Maybe 3. I can't remember. 2, I think. I think it's like 4-ish pounds in the package. So I could do that, and I have all that work every single week. Or instead of spending $4 a pound every other week, and then that's $8 a week, I could, or $2.50 a pound. Sorry, I was thinking of the smaller packs. $2.50 a pound. So $5 a week I can spend. Again, I can get like 20 pounds for 10 weeks. And so instead of having spent $50 at the end of 10 weeks, I've spent $20 and I've saved $30. The burger, that was a huge one. That's normally like $4 or $5 a pound on sale, except for when I get the really good sale. So again, that's, like, I don't even eat a pound of ground beef. Well, we eat more in the summer, but I don't look at my grocery budget. I mean, obviously, I try and kind of stay within a reasonable amount most months, but I don't look at my grocery budget as a weekly line budget item or even a monthly line budget item. I look at it as an annual line budget item. And then I kind of try and, it kind of goes in and out and ebbs and flows. So I might spend $500 this month and then $100 next month. But if I spent $500, chances are I stocked up on something big. So that's kind of how I do it. I mean, by instead of just looking at your grocery budget as something that you have to stay within budget every week or every month, and obviously at the beginning, you're really going to have that. But as you start to like build supplies and get used to the way you're shopping, and I don't know how it is in other countries, but as you start to have stockpiles of certain things, so maybe you had to go without something so you could build up that chicken because it was on sale for 99 cents a pound, or the ground beef or whatever. So then as you don't need to buy those things that you buy every single week, you'll notice that you've kind of built up like a supply to use, and then you can take that money and keep like saving it. So once you kind of get yourself all set up there, then you can buy as needed, and you can kind of let that grocery budget so let's say your grocery budget is $400 a month. That's $4,800 a year. So then what you do is that you can be like, okay, well, it's like $100 a week. And so maybe the first week you spend $200. So then you're like, oh no, I have no money for next week. But maybe you can borrow like $50 from week 3. Now, it sounds counterintuitive because you're spending more up front. But then once you get to like week 6, you'll start to notice, I don't need to get pasta this week. I don't need to get chicken this week. I don't need to get spaghetti sauce this week. I don't need to get XYZ this week. And then you're going to look and you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm making for the week. I need to get a dozen eggs, a loaf of bread, and a gallon of milk. Like, that's all I need. And so you're going to look and you're going to be like, okay, so I need to spend what? A gallon of milk's like $2.50, $2.75. A loaf of bread's $2.50. So now we're at like $5. And then eggs, well, right now they're like $4 a dozen, but they should be like $2.50. So like all of a sudden your grocery bill is like $7.50 that week. So then, whereas assuming that you haven't borrowed all of the grocery money from behind or whatever, now you can take the other $92.50 in that $100 and set it aside to use the next time you stock up. And then you'll find gradually that you're able to shrink your grocery budget. So you're not having to spend as much in general as you would normally, and you'll gradually start noticing you have extra money from your grocery budget at the end of the month, because people are always complaining about how high groceries are and how they've gotten so astronomically expensive. But honestly, if you shop sales and are paying attention to your like loss leaders and everything, has my grocery bill been impacted a little bit, but not like people are talking about. I mean, people complain about the price of chicken, and I'm paying 99 cents a pound. Beef I've noticed has gone up. The beef sales just aren't as good as they were, and it definitely has gone up. So if you are a big beef eater, I will give you that. But it's not as expensive as you think. Um, you just kind of have to adjust how you shop and how you eat. I hope that this kind of like explained it and broke it down so that like you can understand that by buying 10 weeks of chicken when it's on sale for 99 cents means $20 versus $50 at the end of that 10 weeks that you've spent. So like that's $30 in 10 weeks that you've saved. And buying my cereal for $2 a box, buying like 20 weeks worth of cereal. And we'll just say I go through a box a week, even though I don't, because it makes the math a little simpler. I spent $40 versus spending, what was it, $80? It's like $4 regular price. So I've saved $40. So you just kind of have to look at how you're shopping and consider it differently. And if you notice that you're not ever finding sales, you may be eating the wrong things. You may be eating a lot of processed food that doesn't really go on sale. You may be, your main meat source may be Tyson chicken nuggets and those ready-made burgers, and that may be why you're spending so much on groceries. So you may need to look at different options for food, like different things you can eat instead that might be more affordable than chicken nuggets, or whatever. Other thing, look at what you buy and how you buy it. Like I buy boneless, skinless chicken breast raw because those frozen packets suck. They they're so much more expensive when you figure it out by the pound. So I hope this kind of like helps you understand why I have the grocery hauls the way I do. Maybe I'll show you a grocery haul in May because honestly, I don't really have a lot to buy. So my grocery haul for next week will probably be $0 because, or no, I'll need to get bread and milk and eggs, so it'll be like $7.50. Or no, like 10, we'll say. But yeah, so switch your grocery budget from just like a solid weekly, this is the budget, and start thinking of it in more of a what I eat regularly, and how you're going to save over time. So you can kind of like be a little more flexible with your grocery budget. So if your grocery budget's $100 a week and you spend $600 in January, but then you only spend $100 in February, you spent $700 instead of $800. So you've still saved $100 overall. And so that's kind of how you have to kind of start looking at it. And I know it kind of sucks because like frequently we don't necessarily have a lot of extra money to invest, but I spent $25 on chicken breasts in January and haven't had to buy them since. That's what, like one dinner out, skip dinner out. You can do this. You can save tons of money on groceries too. You can, in fact, lower your grocery bill, and I really have like a ridiculous amount. Even with the when I get like a random craving, so I decide to get a pint of Ben and Jerry's or Halo or some sort of cake or something. I still stay pretty much within budget. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugality. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.